Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our gameplay footage of Heliborne. I'm the Ninja Stalker, and we need to talk about some stuff about this game. So, I think we will start with Air America. So,
Thunder to operations. Alpha, time now.
I've been wondering how to get the hidden aircraft in this game. And I did some reading online, and I did some more overlooking the reading that I did, just to try and make some sense of it. And as it turns out, you have to be playing the enhanced edition of Heliborne. With that being said, I assumed this was the enhanced edition of the game, but it is not. Even though I purchased the enhanced edition of this game, it is in fact not the enhanced edition of this game. Because this game has a bit of a little history going on with it. One of the issues that it ran into is this enhanced edition version of the game is actually not good. A lot of people dislike it. I went ahead and found, in order to play the enhanced edition, you have to right click on the game in Steam, go to properties, head on over to okay, yeah, I forgot those are head on over to betas and then click on enhanced edition Heliborne. You do that and you're gonna get the enhanced edition of the game. Now the enhanced edition of the game is not that far off from this game, but in other aspects it is. So when I played it, I was recording and I had a couple recordings of the game, like 2 of them, maybe 3, and then one of them I got really pissed because I started to notice why people dislike the game, or at least why I dislike the game. So it's a bit of a mess. There is some graphical shit going on that needs to be fixed, but that wasn't too bad. Oh wow, dude had a lucky shot on me. That's fine. Damn, 8,000 rounds for this, huh? Yeah, so I changed the upgrade for this, for the Cobra here. Usually I went with the 40mm and the Vulcan and some rockets. This time I decided to go with, I wanted to test out the miniguns here and the 76 rockets. Anyways, the enhanced edition of the game. Graphically, it looks nicer than this version of the game. This is the legacy version of the game that we're playing, and the enhanced edition, it's, well, tried and true, it says enhanced, and it is enhanced. It looks graphically nicer. But then there are some parts of that needs to be fixed. So there was one point where I was flying the Mi-24 Hind, the Papa model that had the 30-30. That's what I call it. I don't know if the last video on the Legacy had me calling it the Dirty 30, but that's what I've been calling it, was the Dirty 30. And when I play that aircraft and I start shooting the Dirty 30, as I call it, the 30mm gun, the problem is graphically the the game starts to glitch out based on the graphics. So like you'll shoot the ground with the Dirty 30 and then there's like fire everywhere. Like it starts at a portion of the screen and then sometimes there'll be some screen tearing because of that. So that was one of the problems, and then it started spreading out to just, I didn't even have to shoot. I just had to fly to certain areas on the Afghanistan map, for example. Not the one with the mountains, the one that I like. And there'll just be some places where, just graphical shit just starts tearing the screen up, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I noticed it happened a lot whenever I had an aircraft that had a white camo paint on. Also, another big thing that I'm going to talk about is this right here. You know these man pad guys? Well, okay, we go. So, manpad. In this game, RPG and manpad, when they shoot at you, you see where it's coming from because they leave a trail of smoke. In the enhanced edition of the game, they don't leave anything at all. The only thing they leave is your system going dee 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 dee, and then you're like, okay, let me pop some flares, and then let me pop another set of flares. Does nothing. Flares, rarely that they do anything in that game. I don't even know if they do anything at all. You don't see where the smoke trail comes from, so you're trying to look all over the place. Like, where's the guy that shot the manpad at me? He's in this area because he keeps shooting at me, and my flares are barely doing anything to save my life. And I want to get rid of this guy. So you're looking, and he shoots again. And you're like, okay, where's it at? Where's it at? And you don't see anything. All that happens is he's somewhere in the map. He's definitely somewhere. He's in that area somewhere, so he's well hidden. But you don't see where he's shooting you from because there's no tracer coming from. There's no smoke trail from the missile that he shot to let you know he's this general area. The RPGs, they, I think, have a smoke trail. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, they have a smoke trail, but the manpads, they don't leave anything. So you're searching around as best as you can to no avail. On top of that, medium difficulty in that game is not the same as medium difficulty in this game. Let me see what else was there. Because there was a lot. It was a fucking headache. It really pissed me off. Alright, these guns do nothing. Let's see, on top of that, it seems like to me the AI is more accurate and they hit you harder in that game than they do in this game. So it made the game kind of not fun. There was a lot more bad guys, which I was like, okay, cool. On medium difficulty, there's more bad guys, awesome, but they were all accurate. And then on top of that, this. What do you notice about the bad guys here that are shooting me? You can see tracer fire, right? In the enhanced edition of the game, the tracer fire is sometimes easy to see, sometimes it's not easy to see. So in this one, you could clearly see that he's shooting yellow tracer fire at me. In that version of the game, some of them shoot yellow, which is rare. Others will shoot red, a red pigment tracer fire, which is harder to spot and see. Yellow stands out more than red. And it didn't even matter if you were on night maps or day maps. Red was really hard to see in that game. And it made things very difficult, especially trying to find the heavy machine gunners who are just gunning you down, who have laser beam accuracy. Just laser pinpoint accuracy on you. And you're like, I can barely see where these shots are coming from. They're hard to spot too because in that game there's more foliage, there's more vegetation in the map, so these guys are pretty well hidden. But it didn't help any that their tracer fire was red in color, which made them harder to spot. Of course, I'm not doing the proper method of engaging these targets. Keep flying over the target, and that's not something you want to do. Let's see what else about that game. Oh, And in that game, it is the only way to play the Raider 97 or S90, whatever it is. I never played it. I didn't care. I didn't purchase the Raider. I didn't care. The Invictus, though, is the one that I got. And that aircraft is amazing. I love that aircraft. It is quick. It is fast. It is quiet. They didn't make it OP by giving it all the best weapon systems. I mean, you can see what weapon systems is available for it online. I stayed with the standard one that they offered, which was a 20mm electric gun, followed by 16 Hellfire missiles. I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is awesome. I saw the others that they offered, and I was like, nah, I don't want those. I'm fine with this one. And it was awesome. It was great. I loved it. I love the Invictus, and I'm hoping that at some point we can get that in this version of the game or something. Now, I'm suspecting that we're all eventually going to move from this version of the game to the Enhanced Edition. That's why they put the Enhanced Edition to the beta version, because there's a lot of people that says this version is garbage. And me playing it for hours, trying to do Let's Plays on it, or not Let's Plays, gameplay footage recording on it, and then I deleted them because they were just garbage. I was like, I can't deal with this. This is crap. There's promise on the Enhanced Edition. I'll give you that. To the developers, I will tell you that you have something, but right now it is crap. You need to fix that game. One of the things that's been pissing me off when I get into that game is that the tracer fire for the enemy is hard to spot. I can barely tell where they're shooting me from. And on medium difficulty, there's something that you did that I like. You put a bunch of bad guys out there, but you made them super hard to spot. You made them more accurate. You made them hit harder, or at least you increased their fire rate, which then does their increased damage per second, right? So their DPS is increased because they're shooting more often. So my aircraft turns into just a flaming Hulk in the sky falling to the ground because these guys are shooting me. Then not only that, once I kill them, when I get lucky, the man-pad guys, they have you can't spot the missile in the air. You can't find where the shot came from because there's no smoke trail. And they just blow, and I don't think that the flares are doing anything. Flares are not doing anything. Like, I have shot flare after flare after flare, and there are times that didn't even do anything. There are times it did work, and I'm like, okay, finally, but look how many flares I have left. And then other times, it's just, I get hit no matter what, and I can't find where the fucker came from, you know? Now, if you were trying to do some kind of realistic thing, like, oh, you know, missiles, they don't leave us smoke trails, like, well, that's bullshit. They do, right? I can tell you, me being an Apache pilot, and the stuff that we study, these missiles will leave a trail. Some of them will even leave a sparkle trail. Some of them even have a secondary propulsion blast from the initial launch, right? So you need to fix that. You know, this is a game. This is a game. It's supposed to be fun, but then it's also supposed to be some kind of simulator, right? Well, you're not doing that. You just made the game ridiculously hard, so you need to change that. I don't mind how many bad guys there are out there, but you need to do something about their accuracy and something about their damage per second, because I'm in an Mi-24 Hind, a pretty decently armored aircraft, a flying tank, most people call it, but you know, from other nations, and it's just torn to shreds. You need to fix that. What I did like that you did was that every map could be day or night. That was pretty cool. Still, I couldn't play on every map with my favorite aircraft, so I kind of wish you would fix that. But I'm glad you made on the Enhanced Edition, every map could be day or night. You just choose, and I was like, okay, that is pretty cool. I like that there's the Invictus and Raider, but I didn't care for the Raider. I like that there was the Invictus. Point is that you have these prototype helicopters. You have these prototype aircraft. I like that. We should put more into the game. And the Invictus was awesome. I didn't even care that on the side of the aircraft it said Navy on it, even though it's more than likely going to go to the Army. I didn't care, although that probably should prompt you to do some camo for that aircraft. I liked it. Just, it was amazing. I liked the way it sounded. It was a quiet humming aircraft. I was like, okay, this makes sense because it's got the Finistern system. It's supposed to be a reconnaissance attack aircraft that's similar to the Comanche, although people online are saying like, oh, it's not supposed to be like the Comanche. It's not supposed to be stealth-like. Like, dude, don't bullshit a bullshitter. You know what I'm saying? I also like that there was different sounds for certain weapons. Like the 30 had a unique sound. The Invictus 20mm cannon had a unique sound. The rockets had an amazing sound. Each one of them had a unique sound. There was the 130 had a unique sound. The 127 had a unique sound. The 70mm had a unique sound. The 80mm had a unique sound. It was awesome. It felt cool shooting those rockets. The missiles all sound the same, though. It didn't matter if you had a Hellfire to a TOW missile. It didn't matter if you had an S-11. It didn't matter if you had a Falanga or a Kokoan or... it didn't matter. And it kind of annoyed me. I was like, nah, dude, not all missiles sound the same. Come on. You could do within a little sound bites that are different, but they all sound the same, and I was like, that's disappointing. But the guns and the rockets, they all had a different sound, and it was just awesome. I was in love. Let me see, what else is there? I don't know if it's, I don't recall. I don't know if the enemy infantry in the enhanced edition of the game is different from different size from the enemy in this game. Like in this game, they seem like they're more, they seem like they're a little bit taller versus in that game when you're fighting the bad guys, they look like they're specs. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, that. Yeah, I want that gun. I want that. Those. Okay, save. Progression. Yeah, and like they were here. They were right here. It was the Raider was here, the Invictus was here, and oh my god, it was awesome. I still want to be able to play whatever aircraft I want on any map. I'd like to play this aircraft on a Gen 1 map. I'd like to play this aircraft on 2, you know, whatever the case is, you know, just understand that, just have it on single player AI. Just have it on single player AI, okay? Speaking of, in that game, you couldn't do single player AI. What you had to do was go online, play a co-op match, but put in a password so nobody played with you. Not that anybody would play with you because the servers are pretty much dead. I didn't check to see if the servers were dead, but that's what I read online, that no one's going to join because no one likes the enhanced edition. And I was the only guy crazy enough that would try it just to see what was the issues. Another thing that I noticed that was a problem that really kind of pissed me off was this right here. This aircraft says AH-64 Alpha. This aircraft says AH-64 Delta. This aircraft says CH-46. This aircraft says ACH-47. Some of them didn't have the correct names. These were CH-64 Alpha, 64 Delta, and then I think the description was like the Chief or something like that. They said like the Chief CH-64, and then it gave it some, I don't know. I didn't read it all. All I know is that I saw right there said the Chief or Chief instead of Boeing AH-64. So I was like, what? You know, how about if you in this version had the correct names, how about in that version you have the correct names as well? It kind of annoyed me. Like even these guys right here, even the 006 here, the MD500, they had something different. I don't know what it was. All I know is that I noticed that the first thing I saw was the AH-64 ended up being CH. I was like, that's cargo helicopter. But the description was the Chief. So I guess that's why CH, Chief, I don't know, that's weird. Because immediately in my head, what I saw, because I am an aviator, an Army aviator, I saw CH and I was immediately thought, Cargo Helicopter 64? What the fuck? And then I read it and I was like, oh, you meant to like CH as in Chief, but no, don't do that. It's an attack helicopter. Yeah, let's see. The graphics, like I said, they look pretty good. I was able to put everything on like the highest setting and just go with that. But and then like this whole setup was different too. It was different. You couldn't do single. Medium is not the same medium over there. There's also, yeah, okay, so there was very hard. I was just making sure. Yeah. We'll go with that. You until 3 regular. Okay, we'll just play until. Yeah, the tracer fire needs to be fixed. The smoke trail identifier for the missiles needs to be fixed. Flares need to do something. There was just a lot of bullshit in that game that I really did get a headache. I was like, this is stupid. Like, I don't want to go back to that game until you fix what I'm asking you to fix. I like that there is the Invictus, but I wish the Invictus was in this version of the game, so that I can play what I was, what is owed to me. I went and played I went and played the campaign version of this, even though it was in Legacy, but I think it had it unlocked over there for me, and I went ahead and started playing it, and I just fell in love. I was like, dude, this is awesome. But you're still limited to playing your aircraft in certain maps only, so Gen 4 for Gen 4 and shit like that, and I was like, dude, this kind of sucks. I want to be able to play whatever I want, wherever I want. I don't know, maybe even have a mode that allows you to play all your favorite aircraft. Doesn't matter if it was on a Russian aircraft or a US aircraft. Have a mode where you play your favorite aircraft and you're in like a neutral base, and then you got one side and another side, and then they will engage you just because you're a threat. And then once you start engaging one side more than the other, once the other side will start favoring you more, so they'll fight you less, but they'll immediately retaliate against you if you decide to just like, nah, I don't want allies, and then you just start engaging anyone and everyone. I don't know, just something like that. It'd be interesting, like a free-for-all country fight or something like that, or team fight or something like that, because I'd like to be flying around an Mi-24 Hind right now, along with my Cobras, along with my Cobra aircraft, and I'd like to have the frickin' Invictus, for Christ's sake. Give me the Invictus, please. And yeah, I get it, you're probably like, well, what's going to stop people from grabbing like a Gen 2 aircraft to be matched up with a Gen 4 aircraft, and then you go to a map that was meant for, Gen 3 or something like that. And at that point, I would just tell you, well, then just fix the map where it adjusts the amount of enemy, to your Gen aircraft. So if, let's say we're on this map, this is a Gen 2 map, right? So let's say I bring the Invictus in here, right? So let the game identify like, okay, there's a Gen 4 and a Gen 2 map. So because we don't want to increase the accuracy of the bad guys, we don't want to increase the damage of the bad guys, because I don't like when you do that. I'd rather you just increase the amount of people and only increase the accuracy and damage when I go to like hardcore mode, because that makes sense, it's hardcore. Then what you're going to do is say, okay, he's got a Gen 4 and a Gen 2 map, just start sending wave after wave of army, just a wave of armies coming down. So like this right here, base 2, you just see like a frickin' army just rolling in down here, and you're like, oh shit, well this is what I get for selecting a Gen 4 aircraft. I'm gonna have to use my Gen 4 aircraft to clear this up, and then if I lose my Gen 4 aircraft, it's gonna go and get repaired, and then I gotta jump into a Gen 2, and I still have to face the consequences of having like just armies rolling in on this little base right here. Or it could be that base, or this base, or that base. You get what I'm trying to say. You can just do that. That's what I want. I want more camo. That'd be something great. More camo. Don't just stop at what you got. Just more camo. Doesn't necessarily have to be time period accurate, Doesn't have to be like that. Just add something that'll make it cool. And It'd be interesting if you can add a feature that suggests the camo actually has some effect on the map you're playing on. Like there's some white camo for some of the aircraft, right? Like so for one of the Mi-24 Hinds, there's white camo. Maybe you create a map that's snow covered, snow level map, and white camo would pretty much help your defense against the enemy AI who's trying to target you. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Oh, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about a long time ago. Okay, so this is an army to me. You got like waves of tanks and trucks just coming in. That's an army. That's what I want. I want more of that stuff. That is pretty cool. And then all I got to do is just roll in and engage, and hopefully I don't die. But this is pretty cool to me. You see this? This is what I like. Defeat enemy armor attacking towards landing zone 3. This is pretty cool to me. Just look at this. There's like so many of them. That shit is awesome. That is awesome. I want more of that. And in the Afghanistan map, there was one of those as well. There was like a whole bunch of them just coming down this like valley or something. I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. Let's see. The interface, the HUD interface that they had. I mean, well, this first of all is the same in that game as it is here. This is not realistic. This is like, for any aircraft you're in, this is the same view right here, and it kind of annoys me when it's like that. I wish there was more accurate interior HUD right there. But this right here, this screen right here, you see on the right side where it's got the aircraft, 66%, rotors, fuel, transmission, engine, and oil pressure. Hold up, I'm trying to decide if I want to go back and rearm or do I want to go over here. Yeah, let me go back. I need more rockets. Your primary and util hydraulic. That's not oil. Hydraulic push. Sorry. So the hydraulics over there, right? They moved that over to the bottom left, and it looked pretty cool. And also, you got more damage locations. So like the wings, they could receive damage. And I think when they received damage, you couldn't use that side weapon system until, you know, it was like it basically unfucked itself. I thought that was pretty cool. There we go. That's what I need. And repair my aircraft a little bit more. There we are. Actually, let's switch aircraft. Let's switch approach aircraft. Let's go and drop some people off. But yeah, the enhanced edition needs some work. It looked really nice. The maps still pretty much looked the same. I mean, the map itself was a little different. Also, you see how good guys are in like orange and the bad guys are like in a blue? Well, they switched it in that game. They made the bad guys in like a type of red, orange, or something like that, and the good guys in a type of blue. So I thought that was I thought that was good, because freaking playing a game and you see like orange or red as good guys, it's kind of like, well, wouldn't that be a bad guy? Any kind of red, orange or color? So in that game they switched it, which was pretty cool. There was a lot more vegetation. Like the Afghanistan map, there was hardly any vegetation, right? In this version of the game. In that version, there's like vegetation everywhere, which kind of makes sense, because like in Afghanistan, it is desert. There's desert areas, but then there is also, you know, some greenery, some vegetation, some foliage in like a lot of areas. So it wasn't like a complete freaking desert.
Warning, hydraulics malfunction. Warning, hydraulics malfunction.
Thunder, mayday, mayday, mayday.
But let me see, apart from that, what else was there? What else was there? That's pretty much it. I mean, like, really, the tracer fire made it unbearable to play the game. The frickin' man pads really pissed me off. I was like, where's this coming from? Like, I literally spent minutes trying to find this guy. Even though I was playing the map in the dark, you would still see some sort of smoke trail, and I was like, where is the smoke trail? Where is he shooting me from? Every time I pass by this area, he's just getting free shots because my flares wasn't doing anything, and I couldn't find him. And I was trying all kinds of tricks. I was like, okay, maybe I'm shooting my flares off too soon. So then I waited, and then I was like, okay, let me pop the flares now. And nope, still got hit. I was like, okay, let me wait a little bit later. And then I waited just a little bit longer, and boom, I got hit. And I was like, great, I got hit without dropping flares. And then I was like, maybe I need to do it as soon as they have, you know, acquisition of me. Even though you're not really. You're supposed to wait till like there's launch, but still. So I tried everything. I tried everything, even the stuff that I learned in the real military, in real aviation. I was like, let me try this. Let me see if this happens. Let me see if this works. Let me do this. Let me do that. Nothing worked. Nothing helped. And I was just so pissed by that. I was like, this doesn't make it any fun, because imagine playing this game online. All it takes now is for me to be an asshole, grab one of the aircraft that you can have like, I don't know, 50 people in it or something, and have every single person as a man pad, provided I have the points for them, and then just start landing places and dropping off all my man pad people. And then guess what? That makes it no fun for the opposite team, because they can't find these guys who are shooting man pads at them. Like, they were literally invisible. The only way you would see them is if you actually saw the silhouette of the individual, and you like flew in close just to see him. And it was like, great, that's where you were hiding the entire time?
Warning, hydraulics.
Oh, and that's the other thing. When you have one aircraft in the game, your repair time is shorter. Not in that game. In that game, you were literally waiting a very long time for repair. Like I decided to go in with one aircraft. It was the Hind. It was the Papa version of the Hind, and I was like, okay, I only need one aircraft. The repair time should be quick, and we'll go. Because I think the repair time for that aircraft, if you just fly it by yourself, it was like 53 seconds or something like that. In that game, it was like close to 4 minutes. I was just sitting there. I was like, dude, why is this happening? But anyways, we'll go ahead and stop the video. That's all I really wanted. I just wanted to like vent about that game, because that game, I mean, this is good, but I don't have the Invictus, and it could benefit from some of the things that the Enhanced Edition is doing, which is, certain maps you can go to night, or you can go to day or night. You had the Invictus, you had the Raider, even though I don't care about the Raider, but at least it shows promise that there's prototype aircraft like the Invictus. So I got fingers crossed that we're going to get that, and maybe other prototype blueprint aircraft like the Comanche and all that other stuff. I mean, on top of that, you need to fix the tracer fire, the color. You need to fix the accuracy and the damage output from the bad guys that are shooting you. You need to fix the smoke trail of the man pads, because if you're not gonna show me where they shot me from, because let's say you want to make it even more realistic, even though I'm telling you there are missiles that leave a smoke trail, okay? Some of them even leave a fucking sparkle, and you don't even have that in this game. You don't even have some of the missiles leaving a sparkle, because you're not differentiating. That's not even the right. You're not even distinguishing the difference between, like, this missile does this missile does this, the RPGs will do this, these ones will have a secondary propulsion blast and all that. You don't even have that in this game. So what you have for us then is, here's the missile, it's coming at you, here's a smoke trail, so you at least know where it came from, and you can look in that general area where the guy shot you from. Because if you want to really make it realistic, how about this? These guys only have just the one missile system that they carry, so that means it's a one and done. They shoot, then they drop and run. You don't even have animations for these guys on the ground to be running away in fear, okay? So you need to help us out. You got to put in some kind of smoke trail or something, or you got to at least make our aircraft defense system, whatever it is, because all aircraft have something a little different than others, but you got to make our aircraft defense system help us out and say, okay, it's coming from over here. It's coming from your 3 o'clock and from this general location. You got to have something like that, and you don't. So the best thing you could do is give us that smoke trail. That'll help us out. That way we can even dodge. Like, oh, it's coming from over there. I don't have any more flares. Let me attempt to dodge. So it's over there. No more flares. All right, let me go here. Let me go there. All right, cool. I just dodged it, and I still know where he came from. The tracer fire, that needs to be fixed, because in that version of the game on medium difficulty, there are a lot of infantry all over the place, and they're just shooting. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting shot at. I could barely see where they're coming from, and I'm like squinting in my screen, which I shouldn't have to do. I got pretty good eyesight. And I'm trying to see where these guys are, and I'm like, I don't know what I gotta do. Like, let me just start shooting and see if I hit somebody. And there'll be times I just get shot out of the sky and die, and I'm like, dude, this is not fun. This is not fun. You need to like lower their accuracy, or lower the amount of damage that they're doing. I mean, even the guys with the AKs are like destroying my aircraft, and I'm like, that doesn't make quite a lot of sense, when a majority of the aircraft today even are pretty well suited against that 7.62 millimeter round. The machine gunners are the worst. They're the worst. Some of the guys with AKs, they do shoot the yellow tracer rounds. The rest of them just shot in red tracer rounds. But the machine gunners, they all shot in red tracer rounds that are really hard to pinpoint and spot in the background. And I was like, this is crap. Let me see what else was there. There was some graphical glitches I noticed. like screen tearing color glitches, especially when I shot the 30 millimeter from this hind back here. What else was there? Like, yeah, I'll be like shooting in the ground, and it'll like all of a sudden there'll be like square of red and like pink mist, but like it's just in square, and it's like shredding through the map, through the geometry of the game and map. Even I didn't even have to shoot sometimes. Sometimes I just flew in certain areas, and all of a sudden there was like screen tearing. And the game was still running, like FPS, you know, frames per second was still good. It's just there was just like screen tearing there. I do like the graphics, the foliage. There was a lot of foliage. I thought that was cool. Things looked really nicer, a little bit more crisp. Bad guys seem like they were shorter or smaller in some sort of way. I don't know if you did that to make it more accurate in scaling to the aircraft. I don't know if you did that for that, but if you're gonna do that, you gotta have something in the game that's gonna make you gotta have something in the game that's gonna make it, I don't want to say easy to hunt these guys down, but you got to think, you know, me, especially being an Apache pilot, an Army Aviator Apache pilot, I sit in the front seat. That's my duty station right there. There are times where I'm in the back seat, but the thing is, when you're in the front seat, you're the co-pilot gunner. Your job, you are hunting, you are searching, you are looking for individuals, you're looking for people to pop out, right? In whatever environment that you're in, that when you're scanning and searching around, right? So you're trying to see things, all right? Now, here's the thing. I have a system that helps me see, but I still have to use my eyes and my knowledge, what's another way to say it? Obviously, my morale and constitution to say, like, all right, I'm not going to engage you because you're not doing anything, and I'm not supposed to engage you anyway, so leaving you alone. All right, that kind of sounds shitty, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm in the front seat, I got my system, I'm looking at my system, and I'm like, okay, who do we got? I'm looking, you, no, you're not a bad guy. You have a weapon, I'm going to keep an eye on you because you're not doing anything bad right now, but you do have a weapon, I'm going to keep eyes on you. And then I'll go and tell my partners, I'm like, hey, you know, I'm sending you a grid of an individual over here. I got an ADM with an AK, and they're gonna be like, oh shit, ADM, AK, okay, eyes on, you know, spot out there, you know, no spot, you know, stare at my code, spots out, and then they're like, okay, spot captured, I see him, all right, I have you know, I have the coordinate that you gave me. Okay, we're keeping eyes on. Let's continue with mission. Make sure we keep our eyes on that individual, right? The thing is, I got this system, and I'm looking, and I saw him, and the system's not perfect, by the way. The system's not perfect. If anyone told you, like, oh, Apache's got, like, the best system to spot people, I don't know who the fuck told you that. Likely someone who doesn't fly Apaches, because I'm going to tell you, this is not, no, just no. But the thing is, this game that you have here, Heliborne, does not have that system. What you have is that first-person view, cockpit view, that's the same in every other aircraft that you're in. It could be a Cobra, it could be an Invictus, it could be an Apache, it doesn't matter. You got the same cockpit view until you go to your missile system, and then you have when you're on Hellfires especially, you have that system, right? Well, that system is kind of part of it, but it's not great, all right? So here we are flying in third-person view over the helicopter, trying to look on the ground, search and scan and hunt, okay? Basically, you're in the back seat trying to spot people, and it's hard to do that in this video game. So you need to do something that, if you're trying to make the scaling size of the little infantry guys that are trying to fight against you, you need to do something that makes them stand out in some sort of way. If you're going to make them that small, you know, if you're going to make them the size of that little rock over there, I need to be able to fly by and be like, okay, is that a rock or is that him? Oh, he just shot me. I guess that's him. And then if I turn around, I'm like, okay, where's that goddamn rock amongst all the rocks in this area, right? Because you don't have a system that's like the game War Thunder. You don't have that system where you can go front seat, back seat, and you have the cockpit view, and then you have your TAD system view for the front seater. You don't have that in this game. So you need to do something that makes this game fun and interesting and also not a headache. You need to do something. Either you come up with something, or you're going to have to go down the route that War Thunder did and implement this new system and do something. Do something, because it's a headache to try and find little guys when you don't have a system to do so. All right? Because what I need, if you're going to do that, if you're going to be like, nope, we're not going to do the War Thunder thing, we're not going to do a cockpit view and all that, you just have that little HUD view that for engagements, if you want it in first-person view, or you do like third-person view engagements. Well, then if you're going to do that, then you need to make the bad guys, when they shoot, them visible. You need to make it that they have flash suppressors going on. Well, not flash suppress. What am I talking about? That's the suppress it. You have a muzzle flash going off on their weapons that makes them very noticeable. You need tracer fire for me to see, like, oh, that's where you shot me from, huh? I'm coming after you. I mean, you might be small, but I know you're in that general area. That's what you need to do, and you didn't do that. You just made them smaller. You made the game harder, you know? You basically, like, you know, took a pistol, looked at yourself, and be like, oh, I wonder if this is going to hurt, and then you shot yourself. You know, you went from this game to that game, and it ain't good. So I'm here to tell you this is what you need to fix. And I'm giving you ideas. I like this game. All right, I like this game. You're getting advice from someone who's actually a chief warrant officer in the military and an Army aviator, Apache pilot. I'm trying to help you out. You need to fix this, because you got something good here, but you're messing up in that game with these little things. I mean, like the man pads, the guys with the man pads shooting me, and I can't see where they're shooting me from. Like, come on. My flares aren't even doing anything. Like, I'm launching flares after flares after flares. Like, I'm there, like, pushing on the button, like, come on, don't hit me. And sometimes I still get hit. And I'll launch off, like, 3 sets of flares. You know? But again, you did do some good things. Graphic-wise, it looks pretty good, although there's some graphical glitches. I was telling you about the screen tearing. The sound for the guns and the rockets are unique. I like that. That's pretty cool. The missiles, they all sound the same, though, and that kind of annoyed me. You could do with changing the sound of every aircraft when, you know, they're flying around. Like, maybe some of them have, like, a deeper, heavier sound based on the aircraft that it is. I don't know. Like, the Invictus was pretty cool. I liked it, because to me, I was like, this is what an RAH aircraft is. A recon attack helicopter. Even though it's not classified as that as of yet, it's part of some program, and they're going to be calling the Bell Invictus 360. I hope they change it and make it an RH-67, whereas the Comanche was the RH-66. Something, because that thing has got stealth, reconnaissance, attack written all over it, and it is just, I love the way it looks. It is amazing. You guys added something in it that was cool. The 20mm gun on that aircraft sounds amazing. It does the job, although you could do with making a little bit, just a little increase, and I mean a little increase of the area of effect of what that 20mm does. You could do with making an increase, just a little, and I mean a very little increase of the area of effect of that 20. Otherwise, it's fine. And if not an increase in the area of effect, how about adding a type of area of effect, like when the rounds hit, maybe like some kind of explosion that'll injure. Excuse me, I burped. That'll injure the infantry that I'm shooting at. You know, so like if I aim 5 feet away from the guy and it's a 20mm and it doesn't do damage to him, add in fragmentation or explosion that is gonna hurt him. That way the next time around, if I do miss him, he's still gonna die because he was in the area. He was in the area of the blast of the 20mm. Let's see. Different sounds of the missiles would be pretty cool. Air-to-ground missiles. Camo, more camo for all the aircraft across the board. I would really like if I can customize my weapon system, because like maybe for the Bell Invictus, for example, it has the standard weapon loadout, which was the 20mm and 16 Hellfires. I didn't like the others that was offered, so I would like a custom layout where I choose, yep, let me get that 20 mil, or even like, oh, yeah, there's another option for a different gun. Let me get this 20 mil, or let me get, this. Well, yeah, it wouldn't really be a 30. They wouldn't be able to fit a 30 on there. Yeah, let me get this 20 mil, or let me get that 20 mil. Maybe somehow you fit a fixed Vulcan 20 mil on there, because we are talking about a prototype aircraft, so you might as well go crazy in the design for it as long as it does the job, right? So then that'll be the Army's A-10, because the A-10 basically, the A-10 that the Air Force uses, right, the A-10 Warthog or A-10 Thunderbolt, is basically, here's this amazing gun, right? That GA 20 mil or whatever it is. Here's this amazing big ass gun, and let's make it fly. That's basically what they did with the A-10. Here's this gun. We want to make this gun fly. Okay. Well then, let's put these engines on there. Let's put these wings on there. Let's put this airframe on there, and let's put some missiles over here. And boom, there it is, A-10. Right? You could do something like that, where I can choose like 2 or 3 different types of 20 mil. There's the standard 20 mil comes with. There's a different type of 20 mil, maybe the one that was on the Cobra, and then there's that Vulcan 20 mil that's on the Cobra as well, but it's the fixed one, and you have that, right? With the same what do you call it? With the same reticle, right? And it's fixed. And maybe different, like maybe I don't want 16 Hellfires. Maybe I want 2 on this side and maybe a whole bunch of rockets over here. Or maybe I want 2 and 2, so a total of 4 Hellfires, and maybe, I don't know, a different set of rockets. Just some kind of customization that makes me say, this is my aircraft. I can make it multi-rolled. I can make it specific for tank hunting. I can make it specific for infantry hunting, personnel hunting, so on and so forth. I want something like that. That would be really, really cool. That would be really great, because then I can just roll into a map and say, okay, let me do a multi-roll. Well, if I do the multi-roll, guess what? That means I'm not going to have as much ammunition for the one specific roll I want to do. Like, if the map is all of a sudden heavy armor influenced and I only packed 4 Hellfires, but I have that fixed 20 mil Vulcan cannon and a bunch of rockets, then it's like, well, I kind of wish maybe I adjusted my system. And then that's the other thing too. Make it so that I don't have to back out of the game. I don't have to quit the game, go over to squadrons, and then click edit, and then say, okay, let me go to the one that's heavy influenced for tanks, tank busting, and just to go back into the game, and all of a sudden the game ends up being heavy infantry, and I'm like, great, I got all these Hellfires I don't want to freaking use on a goddamn infantry. That's a waste of a Hellfire. Now I gotta quit. Make it to where I could change my system on the fly while I'm at the airfield, but have it where, like if your aircraft's damaged or destroyed and it says repairing and it takes like 3 minutes or something like that, have it to where when you do that, it says like rearming or arming, and it takes like 2 minutes or something just to change the loadout you want it, because they got to go in there, grab this weapon system, take that, add this and that, and so on and so forth. Do something like that. That would be pretty cool. That actually be more realistic too, because it does take a good minute out there for the maintenance and crew chiefs to go out there and be like, oh, what do you need? And like, yeah, give me 2 Hellfires and load up on 19 rockets over here, and then load up on my 30, 300 rounds of 30. And they're like, oh shit, okay, let's go call armament and maintenance, and come down, and like they're over there like loading in your aircraft, and you're like, okay, this is probably gonna take me like 5-10 minutes at most, so on and so forth. Have something like that. I would, continue. I would like right now to play the Invictus. I would like to play the Invictus, and I would also like to play any aircraft, including the Invictus, on whatever map I want. I would like to take the Invictus over to the Vietnam maps if I can. Just again, make the game realize, oh, you're gonna take that Gen 4 aircraft to a Gen 1 map. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna be up against a freaking just armies everywhere. There's gonna be bad guys everywhere. Now, it doesn't have to be crazy everywhere. It doesn't have to be like, yo, you got the Invictus. That's like next-gen shit right there. And you're trying to go on a level 1 map. Okay, so that means every square inch of the map has got bad guys everywhere. No, just make it to where... You remember that map, where was it? On Free Hunt. You remember that map on Free Hunt where there was like a whole bunch of bad guys in that one area, and I was like, oh shit, and I was getting shot at, but I didn't really get shot down that much. Especially like on medium or easy difficulty. Well, I never played it on easy, but I played it on medium and I didn't really get shot down. But I know on hard difficulty there was a possibility of me getting shot down, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Something like that, you know? Just something like that. Just more bad guys, you know? You don't have to make them accurate. You don't have to make them hit you harder just to like punish you. Like, no, don't do it. Just, you know, more bad guys and have them spawn. Have them literally spawn out of their bases that they're supposed to, and then have them move to. Can you stop having like stationary enemy AI? Like literally have the infantry move around too. That'd be pretty good. I mean, you already have a movement AI for our friendlies when we drop them off and send them off into a location. Well, you could do that for the bad guys, can't you? You know, like, oh, okay, these bad guys are going to move to this location, and then these ones are going to move over here, and then pretty soon you got like squads or platoons or, you know, battalions of infantry just moving into certain locations, and they start encroaching in on your positions. So then it would behoove you, like when you read over here that says enemy infantry are moving into zone 3 or whatever, you're like, okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Next thing you know, it's gonna say enemy AIs reforming at zone 3. So then that's like, oh, there's more bad guys at zone 3. Then you look at zone 3, you all of a sudden you got like 2 battalions about ready to like jump in on zone or base 3 or whatever. And you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have left it alone. You know, something like that. I do like how you have I mentioned this before, but I'm saying it again because I really do like these games. It's just there's a lot of headaches happening here. I do like how you have certain maps that have night and day. You know, I could choose like, all right, let me go to night. Oh, let me try day this time. You know, that's pretty cool. If you really want to get into it, you might as well have a little cursor. You know, click on it and just drag across. It says, you know, morning, before noon, noon, afternoon, night, midnight. You know, witching hour. And then maybe like on witching hour, like shit like gets creepy and scary out there. I don't know. That'd be legit if you did that though. If you start flying around, all of a sudden you see like fucking ghosts or ghouls or shit. Now of course we're just talking nonsense there, but you get what I'm trying to say. I'm not kidding about the witching hour thing. That'd be legit if you actually have like, you know, drag over here witching hour, and then like you go to that mode, and all of a sudden like there's more bad guys or something. I don't know, like oh shit, this is like scary shit happening right here. Bad guys popping out of nowhere or something. I don't know. Let me see. What else is there? What else is there? What else is there? What else is there? More aircraft would be nice. I don't know. Anyways, I'll go ahead and stop. I've talked enough. Hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and legit, if you are a developer or you know the developers, tell them about this. The Enhanced Edition, I've played it, okay? All that I mentioned needs to be fixed, all right? All right. I'll see you.